So I was perusing through some Mortal Kombat 12 threads, just kind of looking for general news. It's been kind of slow, so maybe see if there's anything that kind of pops out. But an interesting comment on 4chan caught my eye, and it had to do with possibly a game slated for WB Games to be released to be canceled, so Mortal Kombat 12 could take its place. Let's talk about that. So, as I said, this does come from 4chan. It's not a leak, but it's actually a comment, and the person that basically gives the comment gave some statements that I think are very interesting and may have some truth to it, and it led me to a theory. So, the title of the thread is called "Go Woke, Go Broke, Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers announces layoffs," which we've seen in recent news. And it says the studio is cutting 26% of personnel, a total of 125 positions across scripted, unscripted, and animation. It said that Deadline revealed Monday that cuts would likely come today, and we revealed earlier that Warner Bros. TV was shutting down digital production arm stage number 13 and its Warner Bros. Television Workshop, a key plank in finding and mentoring new and diverse talent, which that's been mentioned in the trades, and it's been reversed that they've also taken back closing down the workshop because of the diversity thing. Um, but the part that I wanted to discuss for this video is the lovely Anonymous who replied and said, so because Warner is getting rid of all things posed, I'm assuming these things will happen. These are this person's theories. So Cartoon Network goes back to being cartoons again and not LGBT propaganda with Cal Arts. DC Comics gets rid of politically correct crap with females going back to very lewd looking with giant boobs and butts. And it says games like Suicide Squad kills the Justice League or crap gets canceled, and Mortal Kombat 12 or Injustice 3, if it gets made, makes the females attractive with very lewd outfits. So for me, the key part's that last part. So very interesting. So this person is saying that Suicide Squad kills the Justice League could get canned in favor of Mortal Kombat 12 or Injustice 3, probably more Mortal Kombat 12, being made with emphasis on the females being more attractive and accenting more of their features. Very, very interesting. So I thought about this and thought, does this have any truth to it? Could this be true? And there's some things that have happened recently in the news that I think could play to this, that it could be true. So in recent news, we know that Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League was announced at DC Fandom last year and should have been out this year, I believe, but got pushed back all the way to 2023, specifically spring of 2023, but I still feel like it's like a TBD, right? Like it's still kind of up in the air. So that's interesting, right? That kind of goes with a little bit of what this person's saying. And to top it off, Rocksteady, the company that makes, or the developer that makes Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, the co-founders of that development company left. They're gone. Very, very interesting. That's very coincidental. On top of all that, to kind of just put the cherry on top, I talked about in a recent video with, mentioning an article with David Haddad, the head of WB Games, talking about the success of Warner Brothers games so far. And he goes through and talks about multiverses, the Lego Skywalker saga. He goes on to talk about all these games. He does not mention Mortal Kombat 12, anything about Injustice in the future. And he does not mention Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. He talks about Hogwarts Legacy, but nothing about that. So very interesting that those things are not mentioned. All this stuff is kind of occurring that I feel like is connected, and then this person makes that comment, which makes me believe that this might be true. Now, we talked about something similar to this in a previous leak from Mortal Kombat, kind of like insider details, and I'm going to kind of go back through that because this person, supposedly having insider knowledge of somebody that works for NetherRealm Studios, like a friend, went into very big detail about what W Discovery and David Zaslav had against, strict instructions for NetherRealm Studios in making the next game, but gave more details that kind of play up to this. So I think there's maybe some truth to all this, unless this is the same person posting on 4chan, but I don't think they would do that. So this again is from the leak that I covered back in September. And it says the team at NetherRealm Studios, especially the writing staff, have been instructed that no politics by the heads of Warner Bros. Discovery. No politics. Apparently a new non-binary character was being fleshed out by members of the writing and design teams. The studio got a visit from some W Discovery reps from Hollywood who saw it and got the lowdown on the new inclusive character. from a certain NetherRealm Studios team member. The rep then got photocopies of the character sketches along with photocopies of all notes pertaining to the new character and an outline of the story mode script that made obvious certain NetherRealm Studios members' ambition to push their politics using the game, all without the team's permission. Not even 5 days passed when Boone, Dominic, and a few other head honchos were summoned to a conference call with none other than David Zaslav. He's the new head of Warner Brothers Discovery, who made it clear that Mortal Kombat needs to steer clear of polarizing social issues such as LGBTQ+, rights and racial issues, or else NetherRealm Studios itself will get canned, and another studio will make all further Mortal Kombat, regardless of how well the games have performed sale-wise. So very, very interesting that this person is saying that Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, which I would assume is pretty much ready to go and be published and sold, may get canned possibly for similar reasons, pushing political agenda, which I find kind of interesting, but like the Harley Quinn angle, I'm not really sure where all these things kind of fit into play, but maybe so. Now, to talk about the part about boosting up the female attractiveness, it goes on to say in the same leak, it's talking about katana models that are being made, and it talks about how certain female characters will get sexed up again. So it talks about, along with being shown the... Oh, okay, I'm going out of order. So it says, certain female characters will be sexed up again like they wore in Mortal Kombat 9 with skimpy outfits and idealized bodies. It says, my friend sent me a video capture showing a nearly complete model of Katana in her Mortal Kombat 9 main outfit with body physics already attached. The upper and side portions of the screen had all the NetherRealm Studios credentials clearly displayed, and the model file was titled Katana MK12 Alternative. So I'm confident that I was shown a genuine asset made by the NetherRealm Studios team. He then goes on to describe, along with being shown the Katana model, my friend also showed me that the team has put a lot of time and money into R&D regarding realistic character physics. This kind of just goes, we've talked about this in that video, but it really showed that in that model, I was told that we see all the muscles flex, we see the flesh ripple in slow-mo during x-rays when struck, we see all arms dangle when broke, kind of skipping towards the part pertaining to what this other person was talking about. We see not only Katana's breasts, but we also see her butt cheeks jiggle and collide with each other realistically with her model being spun around in the video. So very, very interesting. So it kind of gives some truth, I would think, that possibly Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League could get canned, and maybe Mortal Kombat 12 would be kind of pushed to the forefront and made a priority. I'm not really sure where their thought process is on this. I mean, I think there are fans out there that want to play Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, but it has been a long time, so maybe they feel like it's just not financially worth it anymore. Maybe there was some behind-the-scenes political agenda going on with Rocksteady where they just decided, you know what, we're not doing that. You guys need to go. We're canning your game. Move on to something else. Because, interestingly enough, in the article that I read that talked about the co-founder's departure, they didn't really say anything about, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. It says that they're leaving, 2 people will take their place, and they assume that they will keep things running. But, I don't know. David Zaslav is doing some crazy, radical things nowadays, and like I've talked about in previous videos, the whole point is to pay off the debt, make a profit, maybe even spin off the company later on in 2024 to NBC Universal. So they're doing things to cut costs, streamline things, stuff like that. So we always know that Mortal Kombat is a moneymaker. We've talked about that in previous videos. So maybe they feel like Suicide Squad Kills Justice League is too much of a gamble. And they're, given that 2023 is closer to 2024, they need a game that'll give them like a surefire payout to pay off debt before they're sold. That's what I kind of feel like it could be too. So I feel like the person's comment on 4chan kind of had some truth to it. I feel like while they maybe were just talking in theory, like this is what I think would happen, right? Because he says, I'm assuming these things will happen, he or she. I feel like they may have been onto something. So I pose a question to you. Do you think Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is going to get canceled due to politics of some part being into play, with the Rocksteady co-founders leaving, with David Haddad not naming the game as something on the roadmap or to be that Warner Bros. Games feels successful about? And do you think because it's canned that Mortal Kombat 12 will be made a priority and we could possibly get it sooner? Love your thoughts on the comments down below. And that's it for this video, guys. Hit that like button. subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.